Brother Maynard, bring up the holy hand grenade. 1, 2, 5.
Please, sir.
3.
Arm yourselves, America. This is Defenders Live.
Hey, here comes the danger up in this club. When we get started, man, we ain't gonna stop. We gonna turn it out till it gets too hot. Everybody sing, hey, tell 'em turn it out till they get no more. Let's get this thing shaking like a disco ball. This is your last warning, I'm gonna see go. I am not afraid of the storm that comes my way.
Wow, it is raining outside.
Yeah, it is. It's
Normally I have my way of starting off the show, but I'm gonna do it a little bit differently tonight, just as a heads up.
tsunami.
Right at the gate, because God knows we're the ones that are most susceptible to it. If the show suddenly stops,
It's because of the rain.
it just a heads up. There's no AI didn't flip the switch. It's
Nobody
not,
kicked the cables.
Yeah, it is literally, it is a monsoon outside. I have a swamp by my front door. Good times, great oldies. Like my kids actually don't even have power right now, and they're a mile or two down the road. Like it's bad. It's a heads up to anybody. If it suddenly stops,
That's why.
So,
And if Dylan just suddenly stops working, that's why.
Anyway, let's see. Do you
What?
Mitt Romney?
Yeah.
I don't like that man.
Okay.
I don't. I'm so tired of him. He is the typical politician who has no moral compass. Well, no, I can't say no moral.
He has a moral compass. It's just he doesn't pay attention to it.
Yeah, yes, that's true. He doesn't pay attention to his moral compass. He's just. I don't know what else to say without like being ugly, and it's not fair to be ugly. Other than I don't like his waffling. I don't like the fact that he doesn't. He claims to be one thing and he acts another way. Apparently, Romney is now the head of the new old GOP.
That's.
Whatever.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You need to clarify. From CNN. CNN editor at large claims that Mitt Romney is now the new head of the old GOP.
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
What is the new old GOP?
I think what they mean is before Trump. If I had to guess, I would guess it means before Trump.
Yeah, but where does the new come from?
Well, he's the new leader now, as far as CNN is concerned, because he opposed Trump.
Because he voted to acquit him and then voted to convict him.
Right. Well, yeah.
I see. That's the stuff I'm talking about. Like that doesn't like I. Now I'm not 100% sure how the process went. I have something called a job.
Yes.
And so I didn't pay attention. I don't care. The whole thing is
Stupid.
a dog and pony show. It's a farce.
It's worse.
Taxpayer money.
It is worse than a.
You want to try that again? That was kind of low.
That was really low. Wow. Here, let's try that again. It was worse than a. There we go.
There you go. Yeah, it was just a giant circus. It was just, pomp and circumstance. That's all it was.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know the exact process, and I apologize for this. But I'm going to go on a limb and assume that between the first vote and the second vote, there was nothing new that came to light.
There wasn't. There wasn't anything new that came to light. And actually, the biggest thing that I have to say, because there are people that are hailing this guy as some sort of champion, like, oh, he's standing for the truth. He's standing for the right way.
No.
No. Mitt
No.
Romney is just as corrupt as Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden. Mitt Romney did the exact same damn thing. Mitt Romney's child is a CEO or of some big oil and gas company in the middle of nowhere, and
Yep.
they make $85,000 a month
Yep.
to go to a
See-
seminar once a month.
Yep. The thing is you cannot be the poster child or the bastion of truth, air quotes, if you waffle. A key a key sign of someone who is true
Right.
is consistency.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You may not agree
Mhm.
with what they say, but you can at least take them for at least believing what they believe, standing for what they believe, and being truthful because they're consistent.
Like they're true to themselves, at least.
Exactly. And he's not.
No. He's
He
not
is
true to his faith. He is not true to himself. He is not true to his family. He is not true to Utah. He is not true to all the things that he says that he believes.
Yes. He is.
And no, I am not attacking him just because he voted against Trump. I don't care that he voted against Trump. I just think it's really, really funny that everybody's hailing this man for opposing evil when he himself is one of the most corrupt
Yes.
of the not evil people.
This is literally, literally, the pot calling the kettle black.
Yeah, pretty
They're
much.
trying to say how wonderful he is and how everything else, and he is just as dirty, just as slimy as the rest of them.
Right. And I mean, he came across as really clean cut and, all the rest of it originally. And then it's just as the years have gone on, we found out more and more about him and what he's done and how he's done it and how much of a sleazeball he actually is. And I'm actually really happy that he's not the president.
Oh yeah, no, me too.
Because he would have done the exact same thing that Hillary Clinton would do.
I'm sure the left is a bit upset that he's not.
Right,
love
because,
that
they laughed him off stage, and then they realized, oh, crap, he would have been our best bet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't. He's a joke. He is a fake. He is a fraud, and he's an embarrassment to everything. Like Steven said, to the people of Utah, to the country. I mean, he stands up there and I do. No, you're a joke.
Right.
You're a joke. It's sad.
Mm-hmm.
People cannot actually be truthful anymore. You can't stand on your own 2 feet and say, you know what, I'm going to stand by this. Damn the torpedoes. This is what is going to be.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to stand by your man.
Too worried about their image and their reputation, and I just keep getting reminded that whatever rewards and accolades you get here on Earth, that's pretty much all you're going to get. So just saying, as somebody who allegedly believes in an afterlife.
Allegedly,
he's not according to at least part of the Bible that he reads. Would imply that things that you do here, the adulation and the honor and the prestige that you get here, you kind of miss out on the other side, and the other side is supposed to be forever,
Mm-hmm.
eternity, and then some, infinite. So I just don't like
Infinite.
this. It's not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. I don't.
It's just a thing, I'm
It's
looking at
sad.
this. It's sad, he's in a sad excuse for, I guess, like Mormon. I would, whatever.
He's an I would argue an embarrassment to the Lutheran community for sure.
Mormon community?
Mormon. I'm sorry. Why did I say Lutheran?
I don't know.
Yeah, to the Mormon community for sure. Like if I was Mormon, which I am not. If I was Mormon, I wouldn't claim him.
Right.
Because again, there's no consistency with the man. The only consistent thing with the man is that he's inconsistent.
This is waffling.
Yes.
Constant waffling.
He is not a man of standards. He is not a man of principle. He is an opportunist.
Yes. Just like
Period.
every other politician, an opportunist.
Yes.
And at least, I'll say this, and this is where I'm going to leave this. At least with Donald Trump, you knew without a shadow of a doubt that he was an opportunist to begin with.
Yeah.
There was no doubt there whatsoever. And he didn't hide it. And you knew everything was baked in.
Yep. There was no surprises. And I think that's partly what people didn't like.
There weren't any skeletons in the closet because he was literally dancing with them in front of everybody.
Exactly. They were like, we're supposed to be able to find this out and make you look bad.
He's like, nope, here it is. Right here.
He just kind of unzipped and just dropped it on the table and said, kablow, there it is.
Yeah. And
look at my magnificence. And everyone's like, oh, dear God.
Allegedly.
Once again, I didn't vote for him. I didn't like him. I still technically don't really like him as a person.
Yeah, I don't like him as a person. I can somewhat as a president, he's not bad. He's not
He
the
hasn't
greatest.
been he hasn't been terrible for us. He's actually done well for the country. And I'll give him that.
I wouldn't give him near the level of he's not a Reagan. He's not, a Lincoln or anybody like that.
But he's not a Bush, and he's not
an
Obama, and he's not a Hillary. He's not. Well, Hillary never got to president, so we can't keep her in.
I know, but just she could have. You know what I mean?
She could have.
He's not a Romney.
He's not a Romney.
He at least has, whether you agree with his standards or not, whether you agree with his thing or not, it's at least Trump is consistent. Thank you. Trump is like, here I am. This is what I'm at, and you can like it or you can take a long walk off a short pier.
Follow us on the Twitters at DOAE Show, at Dylan Lyles, at Stephen Airy. Hashtag arm yourselves over there like the rail licking slug, which says, so Mitt Romney is the new John McCain?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Fight with me, my friends. Fight with me.
I feel bad for him. I feel bad for because
too soon on the John McCain.
No, I don't think so. No, I just feel bad for him. Because he thinks he's somebody. Everybody thinks he's something, and he is a poor excuse for a human being. And I'm nobody. I'm a nobody, nothing. Literally, I'm just your basic boogerhead.
Pretty much, yeah.
At least I attempt to maintain a standard. I'm a douche, and I know that. I maintain the douchery.
Yeah. I mean, like, look. I know I'm not the nicest guy in the world.
No, you are. I'm not.
No. I know I am a jerk in many cases.
Oh, only at work.
Some would say a dick. And that's fine because I am one. And I own it. I am that. But you have to be honest with yourself. And this man is one of those people he's not even honest with himself about what he believes.
Yep. Yeah. It's again, he's an opportunist. It's whatever happens, whatever's the best for him, whatever will further his goal and his agenda and his plans, that's what he goes with. And consistency and standards be damned.
Right. But if you want consistency,
where would I find consistency?
Oh, you would find consistency in American Pride Roasters coffee.
I'm proud. My little sister is ordering some as we speak.
Yes.
I'm so proud of her.
I'm not even kidding. If you want a consistently, wonderfully flavored coffee,
yes,
no matter the choice you make.
Yep. It could be a I say plain.
Right.
Like no special flavor, not the Burr Hamilton or nothing like that. I'm talking just a plain, like the what was the one that I had? Daggone it, not the Washington. Was it the Washington?
What?
I'm trying to think. There was a flavor I had. I don't have them in front of me. I apologize. It was not specially flavored. It was just regular.
Yes, you had the Washington. Yes.
Washington. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. It was a amazing cup of coffee, and especially as one who drinks it black, like it's,
Right.
It was good.
Yeah,
but the best part with it is they flavor the beans.
Mm-hmm. So you can get many things, like especially right now, you can get one very specific flavor. So for the month of February, you can think outside the candy box and into the coffee bag. You can get chocolate-covered strawberry coffee for your loved one. The way you do that is you go to Mojo50, you click the donate button, you donate $14 or more, and APR Coffee sends you a bag of this premium specialty blend. Only 100 of these are being made. Chocolate-covered strawberry coffee from American Pride Roasters. I'm telling you, man.
I'm ordering mine tomorrow.
Yep. Oh, I think I'm doing the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and put in.
Yeah, because I've got to have some of this. I cannot let it pass by at all. Because like I said, I have yet to taste a flavor, and the thing about it is we don't get, like, honest to God, like, we're not getting anything by pushing this. Like, personally, we don't get nothing. We've tried the coffee. I live by this coffee. Like, I've tasted coffee from all over the place and
drink it all over.
Yeah, and and
he would bathe in this coffee if he could.
I would. Oh yeah.
A nice warm bath of APR coffee.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Maybe.
And depending on the flavor you get out smelling like that, like the bacon blat. Oh, that would be good.
It'd smell like bacon and coffee.
Oh, that would be so good. That's also next on my list. I got to get another bag of that. I haven't had some in a while, and
you kind of need it.
I kind of need it, especially after.
So the Bacon Blast is the one that doesn't really hit you because it's like a maple. So it's a maple coffee.
Yep.
Because you get the maple bacon, right? So you get like maple, and then you get like diner style coffee, and then at the very end, you get the faintest taste of bacon.
Yep.
Like
it's not like you bit into bacon.
No, but it's like, did I just eat a piece of bacon?
Yeah, it's that aftertaste of bacon. It's so good. It is so good. AmericanPrideRoasters.com. Go there, pick up your bag today, or several,
and make sure that you go and donate over at American Pride, over at Mojo50 for the American Pride Roasters coffee. That's Mojo50.com. Use the donate button. $14 or more get you that specialty coffee for this month.
Real Licking Slug over on Twitter's. Just because their moral compass is broken doesn't mean that someone doesn't have a moral compass. And that is very true. Everyone has a moral compass. It's whether or not you choose to follow it.
Right.
That determines the character of the person.
So Andrew Yang says on Facebook,
oh God,
that Facebook is a publisher. And he will make them ban false political ads.
What? Does he not realize that? Hold on. They're a private company.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
They are a private entity. They can do whatever in the hell they want to do.
Right.
Okay?
Yes.
They can put up whatever propaganda they want to. They can, put out anything. They can put out anything that they want out there. True, false, mixture of both.
Any of the rest of it.
There's nothing they can do. There's
Right.
nothing any politician can do. And if a politician tries or talks about pushing that, because here's the deal. What they will do to big companies, eventually they will do to the little man.
Right.
Period. I mean, that's a fact.
Yes.
That's one of the reasons why, and we didn't get into it very well, but we had a story, it might have been the beginning of the week, about somebody trying to imply that the wealth tax was a good idea.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. The wealth tax sounds like a great idea because, oh, they've got all this money, they can afford it, blah, 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 blah. Well,
Right.
Eventually everything trickles downhill.
Eventually they'd run out of money.
Oh, yeah. Eventually they're going to be taxed to a limit that, what was it, the highest, like 94%, 96%, something like that?
Yes.
Okay. You can't get much further than that.
Pretty much you're going to kill anybody that otherwise.
Yes. And eventually you're going to have to start tapping into other people. And it's not even just the same arguments that everyone tries to use of, oh, well, the rich people start the jobs and they have this, which is true.
Right.
But it's also going to come at the fact of, like I said, when you tax somebody at 96%, if they continue to keep making their money
Mm-hmm.
and giving freely, apparently, of the 96%,
Giving freely, yes.
eventually it's not going to be enough. And they're going to have to start working their way down the social ladder
Right.
until they get to you.
And when they do that,
then it's not going to be fun anymore. Then it's not going to be a great idea anymore.
because then you're going to hate it.
Oh, yeah. Everybody likes everything because it's not happening to them until it happens to them.
And once it happens to them, then they don't like it anymore.
Yep. This is dangerous stuff. And look, Andrew Yang has got a snowball's chance in hell of winning.
No, actually, after Iowa, he even fired some of his staff because they weren't doing well.
So,
and no, Virginia Jackhole, they have not finished counting Iowa yet. They decided that they're probably going to have to recount the entire thing because of bad numbers.
yeah, like it's supposedly, what is it? Buttigieg and Bernie are so close that they have to possibly count them again.
Yep, do a recount.
Because it's definitely well within the margin of error, and so they're trying.
Yeah, it's like not even 0.1%. It's like 3 votes.
Yeah, it was like 3 to 6 votes. It was really crazy, and so. But guys, if a politician can come in and stifle the free speech of anybody, of a major corporation like Facebook, I'm telling you now, it'll get to the people quick. And
Now-
not just because it's a social media site that people use. It'll eventually work down to, if you can have that, then what's to stop them from, you can only print certain books.
Right.
You could only,
Right.
do certain things.
Mm-hmm. Here's
The
where
point-
I will stand on. He did say one thing right about this though. He will declare Facebook a publisher,
Mm-hmm.
which is true in some regards,
Mm-hmm.
because Facebook has decided that they were going to only allow certain things, and it's supposed to be they consider themselves a quote unquote free speech social network. So if you're a free speech social network and you don't allow like things that are in the normal terms of service, you don't allow them because you don't like them,
Yeah.
then you are technically a publisher
Yeah.
because you're taking the rights of the written word away from the people that wrote it.
Yep.
And you're saying, no, we're not allowing that. So you became a publisher of somebody else's written word.
Yeah. See, that's one of the several things that makes America the most amazing place ever.
Mm-hmm.
We're supposed to have free speech. Free speech
Mm-hmm.
is not for people and voices that you agree with. It is for the voices that you don't agree.
Right. Completely.
Again, stifle it in one spot, you're going to stifle it down the line, and eventually we won't have anything.
Right. So, just remember, don't pull that lever for Yang.
Mm-mm. Yeah, don't pull the Yang.
Don't pull the Yang. We'll be right back, folks. Right after this. Virginia really wants to hear us sing for some reason.
Why?
I don't know. Don't know.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
If you get too many people asking for stuff like that, maybe we can cut like a small LP or something like that, or an EP is what they call them nowadays.
Yeah, yeah. Or we can just do a one-off. I mean,
Well, then, we could do that, but I mean, if it's that big of a demand, I mean,
yeah. Well, I
you
don't
could do
know.
a couple covers and put it in as an electronic thing and
Sure.
throw it out for $5.
Yeah, maybe. That'd be good. $1 a song.
Be like iTunes. $1.29, you can have it.
And $1.29 for the download. Do.
Do, do, do. Oh my goodness.
But remember, you can request us to sing you a song on Valentine's Day. It just takes a $10 donation to doaeshow.com. That's doaeshow.com. Go there, donate,
Yay.
and we'll sing you a song on Valentine's Day. Or we'll just play you a song if you don't like our voices. I mean, that's fine. I understand. I'm not angry at you.
Yeah, I'm not either. I'm.
It's fine.
It's okay. I don't.
I'm just
think I've seen-
disappointed. That's all.
Yeah, we're not angry.
We're just disappointed. All right, we're coming back.
I think it's time to blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
My goodness, we're back. Defenders Live, Mojo50. Go to mojo50.com. Hit the donate button. $14. Get your 1 of 100 strawberry, chocolate covered strawberries coffee.
From APR Coffee. And by the way, they're hand numbered.
They are, yes. That means that
He wrote them on there.
DMXDM
He didn't want to print them.
Well, I'm gonna say it's him. It might not have been him, but
Somebody over there.
somebody over there took a pen and wrote by hand 1 of 100, 2 of 100.
And then Brad licked it.
Of course, because that's what makes it special.
So it has, his germs forever on there. Or you can go to Cat Coolers. Go to catcoolers.com, maybe if you're in the need for a cooler. You could possibly get the best cooler known to man.
Summer is coming. Like, it'll be here before you know it. Spring and summer will be here. And that's like prime cookout time.
Mm-hmm. It'd be nice.
I sneeze.
That's right. If you need something rugged,
Ooh.
if you want to
Does
keep
help.
if you want to keep your ice cold for up to 7 days,
Mm-hmm.
if you want something made in America,
That's what makes them rugged.
fully customizable, by the way.
Really, how customizable are they?
Well, I mean, you can put whatever you want on the top lid for anything, like any logo, any design. Doesn't matter.
But wait! There's more!
There is more. One of which is it's so rugged, it has a lifetime warranty.
That's amazing.
It-
It's hard to find anything with a lifetime warranty nowadays.
Yeah, these ones do. And because they're American made, it's easy for them to fix them if you do break them somehow magically. But you can also go to
Look, I don't even have a lifetime warranty.
Right. But you can go to catcoolers.com. That's catcoolers.com. Use the promo code Steven and you can get 10% off when you purchase anything over at catcoolers.com. So,
Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Quiet guy in the back over on Twitter. By the way, y'all can talk to us, engage with us. Go to DOAE Show on all of the social medias, the Twitters, the Facebooks, MeWe's, where we hang out the most. That's at DOAE Show. Use the hashtag arm yourselves, and we will communicate and talk to you, because God knows we only do it because y'all listen and engage. If y'all don't do it, we just look like a couple weirdos talking into microphones.
Well, that's normal anyway.
Oh, I know. But quiet guy in the back over on Twitter. Do we know if DMXDM condones bathing in his at APR Coffee? Asking for a friend.
He doesn't condone it, but I'm sure he
completely
understands it.
understands.
Thank you for
Also
that setup.
Also on Twitter, Big Pharma Steve. So, am I hearing you correctly? Someone needs to buy Romney a new cricket.
Yeah, Gemini cricket. A Gemini cricket.
Yes.
Mhm.
I don't know at this point. I don't think it's the cricket. I think it's just the person not listening to the cricket. I mean, seriously, it's everybody has a Jiminy Cricket. It's whether or not you follow it. That's the
Mm-hmm. That is the line. That's the line in the sand.
that is.
Speaking of Jiminy Crickets and broken people.
How broken are they? Oh,
A 5-year-old Colorado girl has died today of a methamphetamine overdose after drinking water from her mother's homemade bong.
you got to be kidding me.
Authorities arrested the child's mother and 2 other people in connection with the child's death. Excuse me, the child died in December, but this is now just being reported.
See, Stephen, there's a sidebar real quick. Stephen is very tickled about this because I didn't get a chance to read this.
I'm not tickled about this. I want you.
I'm talking about the reactions.
Yeah, all I want is your reaction on this. So, Sophia Larson.
Aw,
That's a great name.
that's a beautiful name.
Drank the bong water after she saw it in a water bottle. This reported from Newsweek. A 5-year-old girl said that the water was yucky and proceeded to get sick. Her mother, 26-year-old, not naming the name, realized that her daughter drank from the water bottle, which she had previously used as a pipe to smoke meth.
God.
She reportedly shared the meth with her cousin
Oh,
and a friend that same very day.
well, at least she's the giving type.
According to court documents, she and her cousins watched the child hallucinate for several hours and did not call for help because they were worried about legal trouble. Instead, the family reportedly tried home remedies and prayer to bring the child out of her drugged state.
You knowingly allowed your child to drink meth tainted water.
Mhm.
And you were worried about the legal ramifications, and so you do nothing. And now okay.
When the child stopped breathing, she and her cousins reportedly took the child to an unnamed family member's home where an oxygen machine was present, basically somebody's father, who was very old and needed an oxygen machine. When it was apparent that the oxygen machine wouldn't work, they transported her to the Grand River Hospital in Colorado. Doctors declared her dead 2 days later.
I like the thought of lying when you went to the hospital doesn't cross your mind at all.
I don't know what happened.
We don't know what happened. She was playing out in the yard, and all of a sudden, she was acting funny and blah 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 blah.
Anything just to get the kid not dying.
Right? This is okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate to beat the moral drum here, but this is exactly what happens when you do something wrong and you don't own up to it. You don't take responsibility for it. Things start to spiral and they get worse and they get worse. They didn't want to take her to the hospital when she first drank it because, oh, well, she's just going to be hallucinating for a while. It'll be okay.
They didn't take into effect the amount of methamphetamine that was in the bong water and the fact that she's 5.
And it went from, we're not going to do this because we're afraid of getting in trouble to she's dead and now you're in even more trouble.
Right. You see, the coroner said that the child had very, very, this is a quote, very, very high levels of methamphetamine in her system. Her death was ruled an overdose as a result of meth intoxication. Authorities arrested the woman and her cousins and charged them with child abuse resulting in death, possession of controlled substances, and reckless endangerment.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No, they need to get worse than that. They need to get manslaughter
The father
at
of
least.
the father of this of the deceased said that he had ended the relationship with the woman a year ago because of her substance abuse, but couldn't take the kid.
Mm. See that's see, this is what happens when you start playing off things that and making one demographic more important than another. When you start touting that women are much better than men in every list way,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
everybody and everybody just, it's not a secret. Anybody that's going through a divorce, anybody that's having to deal with custody issues, will all know that the man has got it gets the short end of the stick right out the gate, no matter how good of a father he is or may not be.
Or could
He
ever
already
be.
has the strike.
Yes, because you're the
kid
dad.
needs to be with the mother. That's what everyone says. The mother is so much better off. It's so much more suited. Blah 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 blah.
That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. They don't ever actually play fair and go down the middle and say, okay, who is actually better fit to be full, sole custody, or is it best if they're both really good parents? Is it worth having them both? And actually taking each thing into consideration. Instead of doing that, they just kind of blanket it with one big thing and kind of go, well, this fits. And you have good fathers, good people who want to be good fathers, who want to be in their kid's life, who want to be perfect example of that is remember the story back, it was out of Texas about the guy who had the son and the mom wanted him, the boy, to be transgender.
Yes. And the son didn't want to be.
Didn't want to be. And it got to a point where even at one point the courts agreed with the mother and said, no, the kid can do and be whatever you want him to be because the father doesn't have a say.
And then they back down.
And then, they thank God they back down.
Mm-hmm.
This kind of stuff irritates me to no end because it's beyond unright. I mean, the father has no say when it comes to, one big thing. Thank you. Sorry about that. The father doesn't have a say. So, man and a woman
had a little baby
in the biblical sense. Okay.
Man and a woman had a little baby.
Yeah, they lay together in the biblical sense. A child is conceived. The father now has no say as to whether or not that woman goes and murders that baby. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. He has no say there. If they split, or if it was just a one-night stand thing and she doesn't want anything to do with it, it's an uphill battle. He has almost no way of being able to get anything out of it. He's not responsible for anything. He's responsible, but that's the problem, is he's responsible financially, but that's it.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have a voice. He doesn't have a chance.
Right.
And I mean, there are some douchebag fathers out there. Believe me, I've met a few.
Right.
But there are a lot of us who actually sit out there and want to be fathers to our children and can't for one reason or another. And a lot of it ends up stemming from, a jacked up court system who just, for the sake of expediency, because the more cases they see, the more court fees they can get, the more money this courts get.
Mm-hmm.
Blanket everything. And they don't even bother taking into consideration what is actually best for the child, taking into account the father's situation, the mother's situation, and doing what's best for the group as a whole. And it pisses me off.
I understand.
Ugh. Needless to say, this is a slightly touchy subject.
Touchy subject. Nothing like this happened to your house yet, at all.
It's
so
a little close to home, if you know.
I'm not even going to go into that. So,
nope.
What we're saying is, just because bong water is like holy water to meth heads doesn't mean that a meth head should, one, have a kid, and two, allow the kid to drink the water.
Yeah, if you're not going to watch your kid, you know what I mean? If you're not going to watch your child, like, they have daycares, they have neighbors to watch it. It's something.
If you're gonna go do that, find somebody to watch your kid for you.
Yeah, please, for dear God,
Like, I'm not gonna say, if you endanger yourself, that's whatever. But you're endangering a child.
Well, like, and I can't even stand the situation of parents who have kids and then literally just kind of leave them alone. And I mean leave them alone as in from as soon as they're old enough to go into daycare, they dump them in daycare, and then they move off to school, and then they just grow, and there's
Just push them
zero.
off, push them off, push them off, push them off.
Yeah, they want to have that family appeal. They want to look good on the Facebooks and everything else, but they don't actually want to be a parent. They don't want to actually spend time with the kid. They don't want to actually parent. They don't want to raise a child and guide them and teach them how to live and how to be, productive members of society and everything else. No. They just want to have the baby to go, oh, look, and to get the attention for themselves that they have a baby. And then after that, they just kind of push it off onto somebody else to raise because it's too hard, or I'm too tired, or I don't want to, or he's just difficult, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
And it drives me nuts. It drives me completely insane.
Speaking of being difficult, Evangelist Franklin Graham has been dropped by all 7 of his UK tours.
Wow. What did he do?
Reverend Franklin Graham, a popular evangelist and son of the late Billy Graham, is still planning a 4-month gospel preaching tour through the UK. But all 7 of his stops have dropped him, citing his views on homosexuality and Islam.
There's a guy who, like him, don't like him, is consistent.
Generally speaking, yes.
Generally speaking.
CNN,
at least in his faith.
Yes. CNN reported that on Wednesday, an arena of Newcastle became the 7th and final venue to cancel on Graham's scheduled appearances. Following similar cancellations by venues in other cities across the UK, including Birmingham, Liverpool, Sheffield, and Glasgow, the cancellations came after all the regional LGBT quilt bag groups joined with the Newcastle City Council leader, Nick Forbes, to oppose the visit.
I mean, what were you thinking? Like when you signed, the Reverend Franklin in,
right?
Like seriously,
you're signing a Graham.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to be his father. He's not his father, but he's close. He's not bad.
Right.
He ain't great, but he ain't bad. He's no. He's
not the worst. He's not the worst.
But you know of his background. You know what he preaches on and stands for. This is not something to just kind of pop up out of nowhere.
Right. Which also doesn't happen at any Graham.
Yeah. So why exactly? It just something about this just doesn't. I don't know. Maybe I'm weirdly sensitive tonight. I don't know. But this doesn't make sense. There's got to be something deeper than that. Because like I said, this is not. It was no secret. It's no secret of what he believes and where he stands. He's been speaking on this for years.
Forever.
Yeah. I mean, he was under his daddy's teaching, and now he's doing it himself. This is nothing new. So I'm really confused as to why they, let's do it. Oh, no, let's not do it.
Yeah, let's just not do this.
I have to say there's something else going on that we don't know about. It's not that. That's just the excuse that they're using. There's something else going on. A check didn't clear, or somebody, something happened. It can't be just that. It can't be.
Graham said, "We are still finalizing where the Graham Tour will be held, but we want to be clear that the initiative and all associated training courses will take place on the same dates as originally planned." Graham had previously noted that on the website that the opposition in the cities came from a, quote, small but vocal minority, and assured that such opposition would not derail the tour.
Don't they all come from a small minority? Everything that we have to deal with, all
a
the
small but vocal minority? Yes.
Yeah.
It's
so dumb.
He says, quote, "The rub, I think, comes in whether God defines homosexuality as a sin. The answer is yes, he acknowledged. But God goes even further than that. To say that we were all sinners, myself included, the Bible says that every human being is guilty of sin and need of forgiveness and cleansing. The penalty of sin is spiritual death, separation from God for eternity.
Mm-hmm.
Graham then went on to offer his detractors in the gospel, saying that he plans to come to the UK, not out of hate, but out of love. And quote, the gospel is inclusive. I'm not coming out of hate. I'm coming out of love. He wrote, I invite everyone in the quilt bag community, he said LGBTQ, whatever, to come and hear for yourself the gospel. That's classy.
Yeah. No, it's good.
It's a classy response.
Yeah. It's how one who professes to be a Christian should respond. But it's so stupid.
It is
Something
incredibly
else is
stupid.
going on. I'm convinced. I don't know what, but something else is going on.
Rail licking slug over on the Twitters. Meth heads aren't known for making the best choices.
Wait, well, say that again.
Meth heads.
I didn't catch that. Hold on. What?
Rail licking slug. I mean, it's there. Rail licking slug on the Twitters. Meth heads aren't known for making the best choices.
What?
I know, right?
Color me shocked.
Uh-huh.
I had no idea. I really had. I was like, wow.
It's crazy, right?
Huh.
Yeah. It's like out of this world.
Big Pharma Steve over on Twitter. How could they cancel on a gram? Haven't they tried his crackers? They're delicious. Even more to the little Teddy Grahams.
Oh, Teddy Grahams.
This is why we kicked their butt in the war.
That's right.
And bailed them out of other ones, and yeah,
all the rest of them.
That's why they're still under a monarchy.
That's why they're ruled by a 90-year-old queen.
Yeah, I know. It's the monarchy's falling apart, and people in England don't know what to do. Like he actually has a pull. Like the monarchy has anything to play on anyway.
There's nothing there.
Yes.
They barely even have the Church of England. I mean, come on.
Come on.
And so, for the other side of the fence, for some not so classy responses, name of witness against the MS-13 gang given to the defense attorney became a new bail because of new bail reform law. That witness was just beaten to death. The defense attorneys got the name of a witness against MS-13. And shortly after, that guy was beaten to death.
No. You mean he was going to testify against the gang that likes to behead people? No, he's lucky he just got beat to death.
Well,
you know what I mean? Like that's not something they just they're kind of
they do like to take organs and the rest of it and send it off. I mean,
that's the one that if you live, you wake up in a bathtub covered in ice with a hole.
Well, you don't wake up.
Well, yeah, no, somebody wakes you.
Your body's lying there in a bathtub of ice. And
why are you bathing in just ice? This doesn't make sense. Oh, God, there's blood everywhere. Are you
Oh,
okay?
Yeah, that's not good. Wilmer Maldonado Rodriguez tried to protect two boys from being threatened by members of the notorious murderous MS-13 gang in Long Island in October 2018, officials said. In response to him standing up for the kids, the gang members repeatedly stabbed Rodriguez and hit him in the head with a bat. 9 members of the MS-13 gang were arrested in connection to the attack. Nevertheless, Rodriguez agreed to testify against the gang members and charged with assault and the witness intimidation as a result of the attack, officials told The Times. Nassau Police Commissioner Patrick Ryder told the station's prosecutors told the station that Prosecutors protected Rodriguez's identity for more than a year, but in early January, they had to reveal his name to the gang member's attorney because of the state's new bail reform law and urged into existence by the progressive lawmakers, the Times noted.
Look how that turned out.
After Rodriguez's name was released, Ryder said a pattern of intimidation began against him. Rodriguez, who's 36, was found beaten to death on Sunday outside of his home in Newcastle, New York. Quote, the courageous man was prepared to testify against his alleged assailants at an upcoming trial, but he was brutally beaten to death before he could, which actually just kind of proves that those guys were guilty.
Well, of course it does, but because those guys didn't do it, that particular case gets to be thrown out because now they don't have a viable witness.
Right, even though technically they have all the medical records from the previous attack.
I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
This is what happens when government decides that they know best.
Right. And this is that stupid law that protects, it's the new bail reform law, which actually doesn't really do much for bail reform. What it does more so is it stops people from being kept under arrest.
Yeah.
And then stuff like this, where the defense has to know the name legally of the people that are going against everybody else, even though they're under protective services.
Well, I was going to say that too. Like, here's more I'm confused is, okay, so I understand that the defense's lawyer needed to know, but at what reason did it need to be given to his clients?
It didn't. That's the thing. It never did. Under law, it's just the defense attorney.
Well, then how did MS-13 find out the name then?
Because MS-13's paying the defense attorney, and the moment that he got the name.
That's my point.
Right.
Like, the whole thing is shady and crooked from get-go. And
right.
And as I like rail-licking slug over on Twitter that Rodriguez's mistake was living in a gun-free zone.
And in New York.
That it's a gun-free zone.
And New York.
And New York. Yeah, that's
it's a double negative, really, I know, but still.
It is. It's like it's a little bit redundant, really.
Well, let's say it's a triple negative because you have to have the third negative to make sure that's really negative.
Okay.
In a double negative, two negatives make it positive. But if you do
the third negative, it's really hard to actually have a successful third negative.
Right.
That actually makes sense. I mean, you can do it, but it's a little difficult.
New York, terrible politicians, gun-free zone.
Well, but see, that's right there. New York is only bad, I would argue, because of bad politicians.
Terrible politicians. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so one rolls into the other. They're not they're not three separate things. And it's more of a redundancy thing anyway. Like I said, it's redundant to say New York and gun-free zone because they're one and the same.
Yes.
New York can't be New York without being gun-free zone, and gun-free zones are pretty much New York. So,
and
hand in hand,
kind of like Chicago.
Oh God, that's another place that I
just not gonna go. Not gonna do that.
I have no desire, and especially the way things are going. Like, there's no desire to go there anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And the bad part about this whole the new bail reform law, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't actually help the victims and put these criminals away. It does the complete opposite.
Right. It actually frees the bad guys.
Yes.
To go do more bad things.
And it's so they can. That's what it means by new bail reform. Is so that way they can get more bail money.
Well, duh.
Again, it's a vicious cycle of shit and health and everything.
Anyway, let's get that bell count in.
Yeah.
Good evening, Mojo 50. I'm Leprechaun, and here with your bell count grade for the day, Thursday, February 6th, 2020. Today we had 2 missed innuendo bells, 26 actual bells, 3 rim shots, 2 wah-wahs, 1 AOC, giving us an A for the day. Peace out and good night, y'all.
Hey.
Yeah, we got an A.
I like an A.
A is good. This has been Defenders Live, everybody. Defenders Live, Mojo 50, Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Check us out. Go to doashow.com, mojo50.com. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, y'all.
That was wonderful.
Bravo!
I loved that.
Oh, it was great.
Well, it was pretty good.
Well, it wasn't bad.
Well, there were parts of it that weren't very good.
It could have been a lot better.
I didn't really like it.
It was pretty